Hello. Judith Perrier over here at Better Homes and Garden Center Realtors. Look like a hot mess today, so please excuse that. But today, on my genealogy story, it's been a while. I've been kind of busy and all that. But today I want to talk about my paternal great grandfather. It's my dad's granddaddy, so let me flip you around. So as you can see, there's my family tree. I have a different point of view. There's my parents and then myself. So we're gonna go up from my dad to his mom, which is Alice Mae G, up to Maddie Mae Scott and Samuel Davis G. So Samuel Davis G is who we're gonna actually be talking about. My computer's running slow, of course. Imagine that. So he was born May 4th, 1861 in Columbus, Colorado, Texas, and he passed away on March the 1st, 1923 in Snyder, Scurry County, Texas. He is buried in Snyder. So this is him. I cannot work my computer today. Oh, that's why, because it's not a thing. So his dad was Benjamin Franklin G. His mom was Orlando Taylor. They're buried in Runnels County. They have the same headstone, but they are not in the same cemetery. He is in Winters, and she is in Ballinger, Texas. Winters, Texas. Benjamin, he is actually was from St. Clair County, Alabama. He was born March 13th, 1828, and he died April 27th, 1893. So he was born in Winters. He was actually an American Civil War soldier. They had it was a band of brothers and three brothers, and there's his parents, but there's three brothers that came and they fought in the war. William, Benjamin, and Andrew. But we're going to go back to Samuel Davis G. So Samuel Davis G, he was born in 1861. He got married on, let me get over here. He got married on December 1st, 1897 to Maddie Mae Scott in Ballinger. They did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 children. This is my grandmother. She was the third. So there's Aunt Jessie, Uncle Lether, Mama, Aunt Gracie, Uncle BF, Uncle Jack, Uncle Roy, Aunt Gladys, Aunt Imogel, Aunt Tessie, Aunt Willabelle, and Aunt Dolly. Lether, I'm going to jump in here to him real quick. He actually was killed at Fort Sill in Comanche County, Oklahoma. And let's see here. Here's his forms. See if this tells what happened. So this is from Fort Sill. Oh my, I see all those little fingerprints. He, oh, can I read that? My eyes are bad. He is in a grave with a Royal J. Claude, David G. Monroe, and James W. Talley. He was a private in the 70th Order Company of World War. They had his grave number wrong, but they were changed per letter from 1946 in a file. But he was killed in an explosion at Fort Sill. So, and I thought I had something about that, but yeah, like I said, he was killed in an explosion at Fort Sill. So he passed away pretty young. So back over here to Samuel Davis G. He, like I said, was born in 1861. He was a farmer. We have some newspaper clippings here. Let's look at the July 25th, 1919. There's some newspaper clippings on him. We'll click on that. It's going to pop us out into newspapers.com. He was Samuel Davis G. He pleads guilty where entering fishing. He was fishing on grounds of another. So he was fishing on somebody else's property in 1919. Then in November, let's see what this one says. I think this talks about him selling some hay or some cotton or something. Oh, no, this is where him and Grandmother G of the Lloyd Mountain community out in Scurry County was having a reunion of friends at their home for their 22nd marriage anniversary. And then in 1921, let's see, this one here. Again, newspaper.com. The Snyder Signal was the newspaper. It actually caught on fire, so I am really needing some newspaper clippings from the 1923-1924 era from Snyder. And when I go into it, I'll explain a little bit more why I need these. But this is him. He owned the old Oaf Place out west of town. He thinks he'll get 100 bills and better off his 200 acres of cotton. That's what it was. Okay, so Samuel Davis G. Is it this death certificate? Yep. Okay, so we're going to look at his death certificate. We're going to kind of go over it a little bit. So Samuel Davis G, Scurry County, Snyder, Texas, registered 321. He was a male, white, married. He was born May 4th, 1860. He was 62 years old, 9 months and 1 day old. He was a farmer. He was born in Texas. His dad was Benjamin F. G., who was born in Mississippi, in Orlando, Taylor, Mississippi. And Grandmother G is the one who gave all the information. He was buried in Snyder. And then on March 1st, I know y'all are jumping ahead, 1923 to March 1st, 1923. The doctor that last saw him live on March 1st, 1923. And cause occurred on the date stated above at 2 p.m. The cause of death, a gunshot wound and 2 blows on the head. It happened on the U.S. soil. Oh, did an operation occur? No, no autopsy, and it was J something, Snyder, Texas. So, yes, y'all did read that right. He was shot, and he had 2 blows to the head. That's how he passed away. So, now, the story goes, and this is why I need newspapers, because of this. My Aunt Jessie was born in 1898, and she died in 1922. Okay, my great Aunt Jessie. Actually, I believe she was born September 25th. I'm going to have to check that out. I have to double check, because I swore that was always September 25th. But anyways, so we're going to talk about her and this gentleman right here. So, but I'm going to go back to Samuel Davis G. Okay, so the story goes that Samuel Davis G he was murdered over some land. That's what I had heard. I was a surprise child, so I wasn't there, so I can't really tell y'all about it, but that's what the story goes. And then also heard he was a con man. My Aunt Jessie's husband, not my great grandfather. But he died in 23. Aunt Jessie's husband took off with the 2 girls. Then my great grandmother spent all their money trying to get those girls back, and she ended up dying from pneumonia in 1924. The younger kids, I think there was 5 or 6 of the younger kids, they had stayed with some of the family when they could, but back in the day, the older kids that's starting out, they had kids of their own, and it was hard to take care of a lot of
people and mouths to feed and all that. So those younger kids were in a home at Buckner's Orphanage out of Dallas. So I may have to go to Austin. I may have said this previously in the video, but I need to find the 1923, 1924 newspaper clippings of how he was killed and all that. Since it did burn down, maybe the archives has it. I've checked the Abilene paper and I'm not seeing anything on it in there. They may not have names, so I may have to just broaden my search. But it's pretty interesting, you know, this family history. I'm learning lots of stuff. I know there's a couple of stories I want to talk about, but I can't because politically stuff, you know, all that good stuff. But anyways, drop a line, let me know if y'all are enjoying these, if y'all think they're goofy. It's okay because I'm a little goofy. So until we figure out which side of the family and who I'm going to do a little story on, I hope y'all have a blessed day.